Hello, lovely listeners, and good morning, Kim.
Good morning, Joe. Good morning, everyone. Jill and Kim, one harmonic whole. We are going to talk about today the joys of this fresh, cool, brisk air for us today, and the joys of natural heat. I would say. I don't
Yeah.
know. My words are gone all of a sudden.
Well, for those of you who
Ooh.
are not from Minnesota,
Oh,
last week it was
yes.
pushing the high 80s. Some places I do believe it hit 90s.
Yeah.
And this week, not during the day, but at night, just last night, we got into the 40s. So it's been a pretty big temperature swing in a very short amount of time. And that is not uncommon in Minnesota. It does happen here, but is a big change. And that had Kim and I talking about changes.
Yes. And the changes that can be dramatic like that. How do you even handle that? Like, are you one that kind of has to bitch and complain and like moan and like, oh my God, it was so nice out. Now it's so cold out. Like, are you that type of person? Or are you kind of go with the flow? Like, it is what it is. I chose to be in Minnesota. This is what I get.
Yeah.
You know? Oh my goodness. And then we
But
talk about Jill had some really cool experiences in the past where you were in Ecuador, wasn't it?
well, that was one of them. Was the Ecuador trip was
Yeah.
seeing people wash their clothes by the Amazon River banks. I mean, they were washing clothes in the river. Um, it was humbling to see. I'm not kidding you.
Yeah.
I don't know the last time anyone's tried to do anything by hand, and I'm not talking, a delicate piece of clothing. Those are actually pretty easy to hand wash, and because they're delicate.
Yeah.
Trying to take like actual clothing that's your go-to stuff every day and hand wash that stuff. That is rough.
Absolutely.
Yeah. And we take it for granted that we have that, and then instead we'll focus on oh, the weather changed and I like it, or it typically people will focus more on the I don't like it, unfortunately, and complain. And we have all of these like conveniences in our lives, like crazy amounts of conveniences in our lives that we tend to take for granted.
Yep.
And then we have enough energy left over to, say, complain when the temperature shifts big time, when we knew it
Yep.
was going to happen.
Yeah.
The thing to me, that's like the rub. I'm like, we knew it was going to happen.
Yeah. It's insane what our psyches will do to us or what our mental thoughts will do. We're like, oh, it's okay. Yep. We get the convenience, like you said, the washer and dryer. If it breaks down, what do? We complain. Or are you a person, again, where it's like, well, I should be very lucky that I still have one. I should be lucky that I have a chance to actually like fix what I have instead of going back to the old ways and actually washing it by hand. Like still being grateful for what we actually have. Even though it may not work perfectly, it's still available, or everything could be taken away.
Yeah.
Everything could be shut off. Could be shut off, and we don't have heating, cooling. All these things could be literally taken away.
Well, we started this morning, Kim. You were describing that your house was pretty cold this morning.
Yeah. Yep. And I had to
Uh,
run out of my bed sheets into my bathroom, like freezing as I'm going to the bathroom, and then I like run back into my bed and crawl under the sheets.
Snuggle back into the
Yep.
warmth is still there. It
Yep.
feels so good. And I was laughing because I was telling her, I said, Kim, like that's was like daily life for lots of people for a long time, because for a long time humanity didn't have, interior climate controlled homes and buildings and whatever. And there's still a lot of the world that doesn't have it. But for probably everyone who's listening to this podcast, we've had the ability to heat, cool, make ourselves comfortable. So we've had it for so long that
Yep.
we just don't even recognize really that it's there until someone leaves a window open on a night when it gets down to 42 degrees and the house is cold. Then you're like,
Yep.
holy crap.
I
And
remember
still,
being a little kid and we'd camp. Like, we'd still be having our tent in the backyard, camping
yeah,
outside.
yep.
No, it was wonderful.
We just have so many modern day, what do you call it? Like amenities, treats, so many things around us to be so grateful for. And yes, I understand. There's still troubles and problems and issues in life, if you will. But a question that I was asking myself last night, actually, was about how things that appear as troubles and problems, say a broken washer and dryer, and just look at that and go, how can this be an opportunity? Like, how can this become an opportunity for me? Rather than, say, bitching and complaining, how can it be an opportunity? What can I do with it?
Mm.
It's the mindset change is the modern
Yep.
terminology for it, right? But weather change, perhaps you're a person who loves warm weather, and the weather change really is not enjoyable to you. We're not trying to make fun of you or say it's not important, because it is. It's the when we let our minds go into the bitching and complaining
Yep.
and the poor me, when there's really no poor me moment there. You say, like, how, what can I do with this? How can I turn this into an opportunity? And Kim, you kind of do that with your brain and left, right brain, inner conversations in your head. You get yourself back on track a lot if you start going down that
Yeah.
complaining road.
I I can now, but I will tell you in the past, and I've shared this too, in the past it was very hard to do. I
Yeah.
was a I would call myself a very negative person. And I could, if I look at myself back in the day, I could have probably called myself a narcissist too. Um, and it was the fact that I literally had to change my thought process. I had to get healthy. That was huge. Like when my physical body is at an optimal level, my brain can actually get into those states where it's like calling me out on like, why are you complaining about this? There's nothing to complain about. You should be grateful that you had this opportunity right now. What are you going to do with it? And it
Yeah.
wasn't until I got my physical body healthy that I can control that a whole lot better.
Yep. I love that. I love that, Kim. And I think what you just said, what's highlighting for me is that when we start complaining about stuff, it's really a pointer to that we have an imbalance going on within us. And there's some dis-ease, there's some unhealth, whatever you want to call it. Doesn't
Yep.
mean, it's the end of the world. It just means something isn't right within our system. So the weather's changing. It may just seem like it's the weather, and I'm complaining about the weather. It's actually, there's something else going on. There's some other imbalance, especially, like I said, especially when we know the weather's going to change. The fact, like, if someone's complaining about weather today in Minnesota, about it changing, what they're failing to see, then, quite honestly, is the last, 6 weeks have been a gift.
Yeah. Yep.
Especially the last 3 should not have been typically what they are. And so, if we're not seeing that and being grateful for that, and instead are complaining, like you said, Kim, it's when you shifted that for yourself, you had to get healthy, as the phrase you used. That really stood out to me.
Yeah.
Someone's complaining today about stuff. You might have to stop yourself and say, how do I need to get healthy here?
Yep.
What's going on?
Yeah.
And
Yes.
that would
And
that would answer the question of what's the opportunity. That's the
yep.
opportunity. How can I get healthy?
It's actually very simple, but we make it so complex. It's just
Yeah.
insane what we will do in our brains to come up with every single other solution than to get healthy.
Yep. Yep.
Uh,
Another thing that we had talked about today, and I know we're kind of all over the place today in terms of this message. They tie together, but we just had so many different little tidbits today. We're like, throw them out there. Imagine your life without having access to a thermostat that will turn your furnace on and warm your house because you're cold.
Right? Ooh.
Imagine no central air or air conditioner to cool you off when you're hot. Imagine no hot water instantly at your fingertips when you want it. Imagine horrible water pressure in your shower, like not the pressure that feels so good when you're in there and oh my gosh, just like trickling out of it, barely coming out. And then imagine water like that trickling out and of your shower head, and you're still so deeply grateful because you have clean water.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. It's amazing what we actually have. We forget how valuable it is.
Yeah. And I think that kind of sums up part of, anyway, your journey, Kim, is you started to realize what you had. You started to realize that it wasn't, say, all about you.
Yep.
I have a similar journey, but I'll leave it at this one for now. It's, yeah.
Yeah.
No.
It's a very much a very grateful type day today.
Shift your mindset.
Yeah.
Get out of the grumbling and the complaining. Ask what the opportunity is. Imagine life without things if you can't get yourself into a better space.
I love this message.
Yeah.
Very beautiful.
Yes.
Thank you,
And
Jill.
enjoy
Thank
the
you,
cruel
everyone.
weather.
Yeah, exactly.
For those of you in Minnesota. All right. Well, thank you, Kim.
Thank you.
Thanks for listening, everyone. Until next time.